Hey everybody, welcome to We Are Football 2024. My name is Konsti, I'm here with Michi.
Hi guys.
We're at the publishers at HandyGames, and we're about to show you the new We Are Football 2024 Football Manager. The sequel to We Are Football. I guess, kind of self-explanatory. A ton of new features. I've been lucky enough to be able to play it for a bit. I don't think I've seen nearly close to everything yet.
Probably not.
Even after like 20 hours of gameplay. You've been playing with the developer yesterday,
Yes.
so you know maybe a few tips and tricks that you can
Hopefully.
pass on to me and help guide us through our career as football managers. So
Cool.
let's get into it. And without further ado,
New game.
new game. Men's football, women's football, essentially, or as far as I can tell so far, essentially works exactly the same.
Exactly.
They're just different teams.
Exactly.
Let's see. Does it make sense to simulate all the countries? I think it does.
It does. It doesn't really make much difference in terms of time,
Right.
of loading time. So
Right.
let's take everything we can.
Right. And I think something that's worth mentioning is you see Africa, Australia, and North America currently are not in this data set that we're using, but the game comes with an editor to
exactly.
Create or change your data sets to whatever you want them to be. So you can add any location, you can create your own teams,
Yes.
your own players.
Which is what we're going to do right now.
Exactly.
One player.
One player. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, right. You already
Yes, from yesterday.
created a manager. But let's add a new one for the purpose of this, I guess. Let's call him Henry. That's the keyboard bamboozled me a little bit here. Henry James.
Beautiful name.
That sounds close enough to HandyGames, I think.
And like someone that actually exists.
True. Born in Giebelstadt, of course.
Yes.
There we go.
On the 20th of April,
There we go.
2000.
2000. He's a young manager.
Yep.
Where's April? Here.
We're young and fresh. Great new ideas.
Absolutely. Scroll the right way. Perfect. Level 1, I guess, for now.
We're kind of noobs.
Right. Do we want the family feature?
We want the family feature. I'm afraid we're probably not going to see a lot of it, but I just feel better having my own pet here.
Right. It adds a little bit of depth, I think, so that's cool. Well, we speak German.
That is true, and hopefully a little English.
A little English. Yeah, I think let's not.
Exactly. We'll be good with this.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Do we already have a family member?
No, we do not have.
We do not, but we have a pet.
We have a pet.
What is our pet?
We have a cat.
We have a cat. Is he named Cat Stevens?
That would be a cool name.
All right. That's a good cat name. Okay. Cool. We have a cat.
We're going
and then-
the standard settings, I'd say.
Yeah, that sounds good. Medium. Yeah, no.
I mean, there's a lot to be customized. Like if you're struggling with finances or are not very much interested in finances, don't want to deal with the negotiations, you can totally set this up to suit your personal needs and how you like to play. But I'd say let's start with the normal standard settings. They'll be okay.
Like the intended experience.
Exactly.
I think that's like a theme that we'll see throughout the game is like you can customize pretty much everything.
Yes.
Depending on how you like to play. Cool. Club creation.
Yes.
Correct?
I mean, there's a lot of options here, of course. You can start playing World Cup or European Championship if you're like super into it. Coming up this year, so we're probably going to be doing a little of that later. But for now, I'd say let's just start creating a club. We don't have the time for a career today.
I did play a World Cup sometime last week, and let's just say the Spanish national team was a bit suspicious of this 24-year-old German guy that was supposed to lead them to a World Cup, which, spoiler alert, we didn't win. We lost in the quarterfinals, but
sounds like a pretty good achievement.
It's as much their fault as it is mine, I think. So.
Okay, right, let's dive in.
Let's dive in. Okay. We're obviously at HandyGames Football
FC.
Club, I guess.
That's cool. That's cool.
HandyGames FCR.
Yeah, that's basically you have to pick how you want to be called in the game.
How will they refer to our
exactly.
club? Yeah.
They'll happen. You see it in chants. You'll see it in the news.
Right. Well, I would say
Is
what would be correct, but in this case, the football club is. Yeah. I guess both could work. Cool. Yeah. Can we make that a 3-letter thing? That would be kind of nicer. Maybe let's call it United after all. Makes everything easier. Okay, cool.
All right. Still feel awesome. Great.
Yeah. Sounds good. Okay. HandyGames are HGUR. Work hard, play hard. That's a good motto. That is
what
a coincidence.
Exactly. Yes, I was not very creative yesterday.
No, it's perfectly fine. That is the motto, so, yeah, I mean, we can go anywhere, essentially.
Yes.
I guess England is probably, it's definitely a football nation.
We'll start from the bottom, work our way up.
Absolutely. I think 4th division, oh, well, okay. I was going to say 4th division will be the lowest, but we can't even go higher because the game's like,
nope, we're starting a new club. We're not starting at the top.
Yeah, that's fair. I respect that. Okay.
As you can see, lots of options already included. You can set up your club badge as you would like. Like, there's a lot of cool options already included. However, if you have a graphic, you can also add that in the editor to completely, fully customize what you want to look like. Or what you want your badge to look like, more or less.
There are some cool badges here.
Yep.
I like the stag.
It kind of fits, doesn't it?
It kind of does.
Especially since I called our stadium Dalm.
The Alm. Yeah, that's actually perfect. What are HandyGames colors?
Actually, all our stuff have to change to blue. Blue and...
Yeah, like light blue
and
white, essentially, right?
Yeah, probably.
Which is... light blue and white is probably a bit of a difficult...
Well, okay,
it doesn't look bad.
It doesn't look terrible, no. But we can go black. I mean... But then again, that probably wouldn't fit well with the stag.
Well, we could make the stag white. Maybe this is fine, actually.
I think this is fine.
I think this is fine.
It looks cool to me.
And now we can just drag the colors down here.
Exactly.
I figured that out. Well, actually, the away shirt should probably look something different. So that might be fine, actually.
Yeah, that's cool.
Have a different color scheme for the away shirt. Yeah, I mean, you can select anything that tickles your fancy.
Yeah, there's a lot offered already.
Yeah, I think in this case we should make the numbers black.
Sounds good.
Will be better visible. Maybe on this one as well. So they stand out a bit. Okay.
All right, it looks cool to me.
Looks cool. Let's go. All right, we need to select where we are. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
You can pick cities directly in the drop-down. Or you can, if the city you would like to start your club at is not included, you can also just click onto the map where it is to basically set the non-existent cities, or if you want, some imaginary city.
That's fair.
But yeah, for the time being, I'd say let's go to Brighton. I think we know cool people.
We know cool people in Brighton. Shout out to you. Cool. Stadium reserve team.
Yeah, I don't think we have a reserve team right now.
Probably not yet, no. Cool. Yeah, that sounds good. This might be a bit... I'm not sure if that's actually Brighton, but
it should be.
It could be.
Could be. I mean, I do remember that the Pier Arcade in Brighton was pretty cool.
Was it that big?
It's a long time ago, but yeah, it was pretty big. It was pretty big.
No, actually, I think you're right. I was thinking of Santa Monica, but
It looks similar.
The city's not right. The
No.
city's not right. There's no mountains. No,
And where's the sun?
True. Okay, no, this is definitely the correct picture. I was wrong. Okay, nice. I like this. Okay. Oh, okay.
Yes, more settings, more options. Basically, how to set up your start for the game.
Right.
I mean, it all depends on how much money you have, how quickly you can progress, how hard you basically want to make it on yourself.
Yeah.
But since we're cool and we've got like 20 hours of experience already, I think this is fine.
This is gonna be easy.
It's fine.
Support of the economy very well. Yeah, I guess we're 4th division club.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, fans' abilities up there unshakable to the death.
They are.
Those are diehard fans.
HandyGames
Do we have
fans
diehard
are
fans? Absolutely. At least 2.
At least, exactly.
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
Perfect.
I remember this.
So this is our.
We can check our
we can
club
look
grounds. I think it's going to be
Yeah.
It's not going to be super impressive.
It's probably slightly underwhelming so far.
Let's take it. It's not too bad.
Like we have one training.
There's
ground.
a pitch. There's some offices.
Places where we can change clothes.
Toilets and showers, probably.
We're set. I mean, if you turn a little to the right, you're probably going to be able to see our stadium somewhere far down the road. Yep, there it is.
That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
Some easy jog.
yeah, right. Okay, no, I like this. That's cool.
Right, let's roll.
Okay. The preparations start.
Playing for the cup today.
I don't see us winning the cup, to be honest.
No,
but
probably not. At least not today.
No, not yet. Maybe 8 to 12 seasons down the road. Who knows? Okay, we want to reach position 22. That is a humble goal.
And right now we're basically negotiating with the front office about how much money and budget we will get to improve our team.
Exactly.
I mean, we can start negotiating. We can use some action points in case we want to kind of like push the envelope a little further, but since we're starting a little short one, I think we're cool.
Yeah, I actually decided not to use negotiation points on this. Use negotiation points on this after my first start a few weeks ago, because it doesn't make a huge difference. No. Sorry, I'm using negotiation points, obviously not using action points, because we only have a few of those and you can use them for many things throughout the game.
Exactly.
So yeah, essentially the more money we want, the less the board will like us.
Yeah, and the higher the pressure.
And the higher the pressure, but also if we increase, well, in this case, I guess between 22 and 21.
And nobody has
either way, they're not very impressed. But
that's cool. I mean, if you don't think we can do more, we will prove our best.
We can shoot for 21, I think, and then yeah, I guess this is fine.
Yep, I think we can roll.
We'll try our best. So far, I've learned that the board and the fans usually liked me, because there was some success, but the players weren't very happy with me most of the time, which is unfortunate. But
they like to win.
They do like to win, and you just don't always win.
It's true. Yeah. Sometimes that happens.
Here you could again redesign your kits, especially if you've chosen an already existing club instead of making your own. In our case, we've created ours, so there's no need really to go over this again, but you could. All right, these are my rules. There you go. Players already not so happy with us, but
we could improve that.
We'll convince them. Yeah, strategies, team strategies. What do we do?
Yeah.
Do we rotate a lot? Does everybody get a chance? Do we bet on a regular team? I do like to bet on a regular team, if I'm honest.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I'm more of a rotator, but okay.
That's fair.
You're running the team today, so
okay,
let's see where we go.
Okay. I feel maybe I don't know if this is actually how it works, but I felt like when I said we're going to rotate a lot and then I didn't rotate, everybody got upset with me.
Yes.
Which fair enough.
Yes.
But also some players are just better than others.
That is very true. And the good thing is we do not have a lot of cup games right now, so rotation is not as key now.
Let's be honest, we'll probably not make it past round one, unless we get a lucky draw maybe in the lottery. But yeah, age doesn't matter.
Yep.
Not really.
I mean,
as long as you perform.
For the people that haven't really played this before, let's just explain. This basically influences how the players, the fans, and the board will react to your actions during gameplay, because if that's what you said you will do, just like you just explained. So yeah, I think we're cool with this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, improve in the medium term.
Yep.
Actually, the goal might be long-term development. We are literally starting out.
Do not underestimate our power.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. And I want a good balance, yeah. And yeah, that's cool. We can set a few extra rules for the transfer market, but you know, I think this is fine.
Especially considering we're probably not going to dive very deep into the season here.
Exactly. We only have a certain amount of time.
But honestly, cool. I'm not. That's not too shabby of a team.
It's not terrible, no. We have okay. So maybe to make sure what all this means. I mean, if you've played football managers or any kinds of sports managers before, you'll understand most of it. But our people have names. They have numbers. We can assign those numbers, and these are their main positions. And some of them have secondary positions. You'll see their actual level. So sort of a rating, I guess, of that player.
It's, from basically 0 to 20.
Yeah.
So yes, we're in the lower league, so that's why our players are kinda not that good yet.
They're not superstars, but they'll play against other players on the same level roughly, so it'll be fine. But yeah, essentially, if you need, I don't know, your center defense player to play defensive midfield, that is his secondary position, so his actual level will probably go down on that particular position slightly. Some more, some less. If you put him, in as a striker, it'll go down significantly, probably.
Like if you put him completely out of position, then it's going to be significant.
Sometimes there's no way around if too many people are hurt, or or you get a lot of yellow cards throughout the game. You might have to put someone on a position that they're not super happy with. But yeah, that's essentially how all of that works. During the game, there will also, I mean, we'll get to this. There will also be other things like their current fitness level, their motivation, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, I think we'll be fine with our numbers. I mean, we could make our main goalkeeper number 1 if we wanted to. Set our secondary to, sure, 9, why not? Not that it makes a huge difference. It's just the number on the jersey.
I'm tingling a little by having our goalkeeper having the 9, but
it's a bit weird. Yeah, I'm not sure. It should be the number 12, right?
Yeah, I feel better now.
Yeah, that's fair. Better. I'm not sure, but apparently number 9 wasn't taken yet.
Because we obviously do not have a proper forward. I guess that's something we can fix on the transfer market.
True. Yeah, you're right. That's something we need to look into. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool. Okay. Well, I'm happy with this though. It's a very English team as well. Cool.
And good Irishman.
Yes.
Jose Jones. Interesting name, though.
All right. And here we go.
That's where we are.
That's actually, so this will be, wait, is that a friendly? That's probably a friendly match.
No, that's actually a league match.
Is that a league match already? Okay. Oh yeah, there it says. Yeah, there it's, right, we haven't set up friendlies. Yep, there it says 4th division. Yep, you're right.
It's like basically here what we can do is we can set a very broad outline for what we want to do this week. It's like right now our focus would be getting some money in.
Yeah.
Talking to sponsors, and our training would be focused on basic fitness, which I think is perfect since we're still almost a month out from...
Yeah, and we're starting out. finance and sponsors, I mean, it's something that you want to take care of early
on, yes.
As early as you can. And I think we'll actually just do that because, I mean, there are other things that you can, next match doesn't really make sense yet because it's, you know, as you said, over a month away. We can advance our individual players. We can improve our squad. That's something that we want to do.
We will
as you said, we don't have a real forward in the team right now.
In parallel.
And obviously you can do all of these things anyway during the week. Like you can work on the transfer market while you're mainly focusing on finance and sponsors, so all of that works.
And later on, you'll also see that the game will suggest things that you should be doing because it's very necessary, and other things that were like, you could be doing this, but you don't really have to. So the game tries to help you along, like if you're still struggling with what you should be doing.
Absolutely, yeah. And down here, we can focus on supporting a particular player. I don't know. I don't know them yet, so I'm not sure who really makes sense to be focusing on. I guess our main goalkeeper. Well, that's actually him, isn't it? Is that our?
That's our.
That is our number one goalkeeper.
Interesting name.
He is. That is a. Wow, that's a crazy name. I wonder, that's probably like Gaelic or something.
If that is like awesome.
I will mispronounce it, so I'm not even going to try.
For sure, I will name
Doyle.
my child after that for sure at some point.
We'll ask our British friends. They'll know. Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Yep.
Let's get it underway.
All right.
Okay.
Main menu now.
Big menu. Lots of things to unpack. Where do we start?
The good thing is we're starting where we should be starting. Exactly. So basically this gives us the core overview of what is going on in our team right now. How do we stand? What's our position in the league? How happy are our players? How happy are our supporters? How happy is our board? How many members do we have? Etc. etc. There's like all kinds of little overview things that you always want to kind of keep an eye on, but nothing that really breaks us right now. I think the first thing we should probably be doing is like really taking a look at the strengths of our team, what formation we want to play, which would basically be directly the next tab. As you can see on the top, you'll have like a whole bunch of little options that gives you different menus to take a look at different things. And what we do have is, in this case, our first team squad, but we also have a youth squad. And especially in the lower leagues, chances are there's probably someone who's not too shabby and who we could pull up. I mean, there's a few that look quite promising.
I mean, yeah.
They're not super talented, but I mean, good enough to probably already kick with our main team.
Absolutely. I mean, some of them have higher rankings actually than our main squad already, and they're, as the name suggests, very young. Forward. And there is, and he's not too bad. Actually.
No, I mean, he's a good start at least.
So we'll start a contract talk with Westcott Evans.
Let's see. Now,
Evans Westcott. Sorry.
This is actually a very interesting menu because you have to set up your schedule. So you could, if you want, say, all right, I do not have the time today on Monday to speak to him. So you could just pull it over and say, all right, we'll talk to him on Tuesday morning.
First thing Tuesday morning, we'll talk to Evans Westcott.
Because we probably have a few other things to do.
Make him our striker, hopefully.
Okay. Other than that, of course, injuries would be the next one. Luckily, we are not injured.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Completely new game, so nothing happened yet.
Yes, you're already on the transfers. Like, we could be looking into getting some players in. We do have a good budget to bring in a handful of future prospects. You would want to, of course, want to start scouting and looking at what exactly do we need. Right now, I think we've identified we needed a forward. Let's see if we can find one, perhaps.
Yeah, there we go. So we will search for a forward, striker even, I guess. We're attacking midfield. Well, we have midfielders, so yeah. I think a striker would be good. We can choose where to look.
Yes.
I think in this case it makes sense to kind of look
locally
and maybe get someone from one of our competing clubs. Well, age. I mean, you can set anything really.
Exactly.
I wouldn't do too much here because chances are, if you select, if you set the standard too high, your scouts will come back disappointed and be like, "There's no one that fits your criteria in this league."
That's why I probably just to keep the level of players realistic, somewhat realistic. I'd probably not go with max level, just because it just gives us way too many, and we're going to be seeing these guys that are way out of our price class.
Exactly. Well, I mean, if we get a four bronze star player, that'd be amazing already in this setting. So yeah.
And the rest of the details, of course, everybody can set. Right now, I think we're very flexible and we'll take whoever would like to play at HandyGames.
Exactly. If you're like a top club and you're looking for someone very specific, it makes sense to use all of these settings. In our case, we just need someone who can score a goal.
That's the point.
Every now and again.
You know how to kick a ball. You're our man.
Yeah. So yeah, who are they? Here we can select, how expensive might they be, where are they playing, what are the skills, their levels. Obviously, they're all strikers in this case because that's what we selected. I mean, we do have some money to spend, but
enough to at least get, I think, any of them as long as they would like to play for us.
Right, exactly.
But yeah, I'd probably look at what's the
all pretty good.
best we can get. Probably looking at someone who's a little more experienced to be like a mentor for our young
striker. Yeah. Like Michael Towner. He's 28 years old. That's not a bad age for a football player.
Very decent price too.
Yeah. We could now scout him first, so we can immediately, start negotiation talks. If you start scouting the player, you'll get more and more information on, things that are uncertain here. Exactly. So there's a few things that we don't know. We don't know his exact power level yet, and all of that. And the longer we scout him,
we'll figure out more. And especially like if you're playing long term and in a higher club, it will also become important to have people that match the personality of your team.
Yes.
So you want people that kind of gel with the rest of your players, so they don't sit on an island and nobody gives them the ball.
Yeah. A very simple example would be if you have, in our case, we have a completely English-speaking team. I mean, I assume because they're all from England and one guy's from Ireland.
Yeah,
so they'll all have a common language at least. If you now put someone in that doesn't speak English, you can do that, of course. And if they're a great player, it'll still work. But they have this disadvantage of not being able to communicate as effectively with the rest of the team, especially with the players directly surrounding them. So that's just something to keep an eye on. And there's many more of these instances. If you put two guys that have sort of a leader personality next to each other, that might create a conflict. All of these examples. I mean,
let's dish him an offer.
Let's try. If the offer is right, the club would only agree to sell the player. That is fair.
Yep.
He's young enough, for us to buy him.
In this case, we don't want to loan anyway, so that's good.
Exactly. So we're cool with that. That's a good start, I would say.
I'd say so too.
Well, our main focus was check finances, check sponsors.
Yes.
We can actually probably check the what's good, what's bad tab, and there we'll see we've not organized a season opener, you haven't held a sponsor day, and we don't have a stadium sponsor, and our ad boards are still on. So that's something that we want to focus on.
There is a lot of money left on the table.
Exactly, especially a stadium sponsor. You can make a bunch of money from those. We still have a few sponsors, for our jerseys and stuff like that. But our stadium sponsor is not. Well, there isn't.
We haven't sold the naming rights.
We haven't sold the naming rights yet. But we can do that.
We can do that.
And we will. We will. We all like money.
Of course, there's
ad boards as well.
Exactly. Several different levels of sponsoring. You can get, like, the bigger your stadium, the more ad boards you have in your stadium, the more ad boards you can sell, the more money you can make.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. That's as simple as that. What else do we have? Right, we're taking care of this, and we've not held a sponsor day. We've not organized a season opener. That's something we could do as well. Yeah.
I mean,
team events. What do we want?
I think strengthening the team spirit is probably a good start for us right now.
Yeah.
I think the people are not as unhappy yet.
True. That's a full day.
That's a full day.
Full day of a team event, but that's fine. This is a difficult week for us, 48-hour work week. That's pretty rough.
I mean, this will very much play into private life.
Yeah.
Like once you're established and you have a girlfriend, a boyfriend, whatever, if you don't spend time with them, they will become unhappy, and it'll add another layer of interesting interactions to the game.
True. That is very true.
But since we're single, we can go 80-hour weeks.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want. Yeah. We'll not do a sponsors day yet because there are still a few sponsorships to be conducted. I think this is a full week already.
It is.
Let's see what the game suggests. Well,
that's what I was talking about
exactly. There's a lot more that we should do. What we definitely will do is do some sport this week because that'll actually decrease
our stress
a little bit. What you also can do, something that I found out a little late actually, is if you go to your personal tab, here you have your family or your personal life, your family that you can spend time with. In our case, there is no family member. We could go on a partner search.
We could.
I mean, we could set it to would be okay, I guess. See what happens.
Exactly.
You know, take them as they come.
We saw it appear. I think we're gonna have some fun there.
Oh yeah, definitely. But we can also focus on our personal career and educate ourselves further. For example, that is something that will give us manager points, level up our manager. If we're a higher level manager, bigger clubs will get interested in working with us. So that's something that does make sense. But again, it takes another 2 hours out of our week, but it might be worth it. And as you said, currently there's no real downside to doing overtime. That's all. I mean, that and much more that you can take care of from this menu. We can invest some money. That is something that that our finance department will take care of. We still, it still goes into our schedule, but there's, I mean, investing is always a good idea.
Right.
I think everything else we'll do next week probably. To not overdo it.
Yeah, we can do that next week. You're right.
Okay.
I was just thinking, like, what we could do definitely is also take a look at our stadium and what we can eventually upgrade. But yeah, not important in this second.
True. Well, actually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that doesn't go into our work week, does it?
No. I mean, especially like you can basically check out what we can do. There's a lot of cool little things we can do to make our stadium look more attractive and also basically generate us more money.
Yeah.
Like in this case, you could basically add the VIP boxes with the video ring, which would then add us a lot of basically extra money. But I mean, we're probably not going to be able to afford it right now.
Probably not. No.
As you can see, you can do that basically individually for every Yeah, not even close.
No, we're not going to do that.
But you can take a look at it.
We can exactly.
How awesome
we can take
it
a
will
look.
look.
We can take a look. Advertising, anything like that, that all works.
Yeah.
But this is all very expensive.
You can basically preview it. You can dump a little in, and then just look at what would be our dream.
Right.
The island in absolutely beautiful.
Right. We could do that. Okay. Let's try it. We'll have all the video ring, all the
VIP video
VIP lounges around. We'll have roofs over everything. Obviously,
the people can't wait to see us play.
Even more VIP boxes.
Even more.
We'll make so much money every game.
This is going to be a very interesting stadium. I love it.
Yeah. Obviously, nowhere near our budget.
But let's take a look at it.
Let's take a look. At
the top. And it's like,
oh, yeah. That's a nice stadium. But well, we're, like 38 million pounds shy of making that dream come true. But who knows?
You always got to look for the future.
Yeah, exactly. Something that immediately struck my gaze was we have not enough office spaces.
Oh, yeah.
That might be something that we could take care of for a relatively...
could be able to afford it.
Yeah. An office floor.
Yep.
Seats 10 staff members.
That sounds perfect.
And we'll put that right on top of there.
Yeah. Again,
it'll take a while.
You can stack buildings of the same type, which then, again, you look at it and then there will be another layer.
A second story to our office building. That's basically all it is. And I think for £200,000,
that sounds like
making our office staff happy, that makes sense, I think.
And especially giving them a seat to sit on so they don't have to all sit on my lap.
Exactly. Okay, let's start our week. All right, that's our training plan. You can
completely individualize it. Like if you are deep into training, have specifics that you want to focus on because you've analyzed a weakness in your opponent, you can set all of that, or you can just have your assistant basically take care of all the planning. They do a serviceable job.
Yes, it usually works. What I discovered is the training groups. That's a feature that I really like because you can hear in theory. This is especially interesting during the season when some players, they might have been injured, so their fitness is down a little bit, or someone else is they might be super fit, or they might be fresh, but maybe their endurance isn't the best. So you can hear. Select different training groups and focus on regeneration, stamina, rehab, or maybe you just want your strikers to score more goals, focus on finishing, and then you can select individual players to work on specific things, which right now we don't need, but this is a feature that's been very useful for me because I started noticing that, hey, all my players are kind of low energy mid-season before winter break. While all my opponent's players, they were all super fit. And I was like, maybe I'm doing something wrong here.
Maybe.
So yeah, obviously if you just keep them working too hard, their energy will be down for the game, and
you'll burn through them really quickly.
Yeah, and especially if it's a level matchup against a similar skilled opponent, that can make a difference.
It does a significant difference, actually.
Yeah. But in this case, we're working on basic fitness, and that's fine. Ticket prices. Yeah.
I mean, basically, this is very simple. You see this. You see the smiley faces. They're going to tell you what do the fans think.
Yeah.
I mean, you can squeeze them a little if you basically think that your performance can back that up, but. Should you not be able to back that up with your performance, they will stop coming.
Exactly, and then you lose out on money, so it does.
Like right now, probably having
just try to make him happy. It doesn't make a huge difference.
Exactly, it's probably the best. Our grounds are not that big yet.
Exactly. Oh yeah. Michael Towner. Okay, let's get to negotiating. Transfer fee. So this is something that I always look up. They want more than his actual market value. So we risk if we can't resell him, you risk losing some money. But this discrepancy is not too big.
Exactly, and I definitely would try to negotiate at least a little.
We'll definitely try, but I've had other offers where the market value was 150,
And
but they wanted to sell him for 300 or something. I was like, hold on, Gwen Allen.
I mean, a small little feature that we actually haven't talked about was like, as you can see, there's pictures for everyone. The game basically has moved on from having these cartoony, just basic images. There's AI images generated for players as well as the staff members. And what I personally find like the coolest thing about it is that they adapt to the age. So basically you will probably never see a manager that looks like a teenager, but your youth players will also not look like they're ready to retire immediately.
Yeah, that's actually pretty
and
cool.
And they do
I
develop over the course of their career.
Yeah, they do age, yeah. That is pretty cool. Right. So here, the negotiation feature works essentially the same as it did with our board before.
Same system.
The system is the same. We try to maybe even get him under market value. We can try to negotiate. They will not accept this offer, I'm pretty sure, but maybe they'll make a counter offer. Exactly. Unless if you go too far, they'll be offended.
Yeah, you can always kind of keep an eye on their interest level. And they're 50, so we're probably not going to be able to ask for too much, but I'd probably go for at least market value or a little under.
Yeah, we can try a little under market value. They probably won't accept that. And so they already budged.
Yep,
so if you see the demand already went down to market value, so I think this is a pretty good deal for us.
Fair enough.
Share of resale 0%. That's perfect. We don't, and I think we're fine with that. 150K, that is a good deal for a 3.5
sounds perfect
ability
to
striker.
Me.
Yeah.
And we have a second Irishman. I feel a lot better now.
Absolutely. Cool. That was not too bad, actually. That went pretty well. Right. Now the player obviously wants a contract. That's another thing that we'll have to negotiate, but this is now the player. Give him a long contract. That gives him some security, but also if he improves, we'll have a cheap player. Obviously, he could also get worse as he gets older. So
I mean, he's not the youngest.
There is a little bit of a risk here. Club extension option. He wants everything essentially, which
sounds good to me.
Fair enough.
I'm not complaining.
I'm not too mad.
No.
Basic salary a year. That's a bit high maybe for our level. He'll be one of the highest paid players, I think.
But he's
also one of the strongest, so yeah, that's fair. Maybe we can try.
I would.
We'll definitely try.
Try pushing him a little down.
Exactly. Win bonus, make it a
an even 1,000.
An even 1,000, thank you. And match bonus, yeah, that's fine.
I mean, for our British fans who hopefully will try this game, you can also set the salary to be per week. Like right now it's per year, which is a very continental way of paying.
True.
But this is an optional thing.
It really depends on how you want to look at things as well. Yeah. Promises he will nearly always play in this season, definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe we can renegotiate in 27. He won't be happy, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay.
He's not too unhappy.
Yeah.
Still not there with everything, but there's room to negotiate here.
There is room to negotiate. Well, we'll do 28, but we will take away his option.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I think that sounds fair.
Fair deal.
Let's see what he says now.
There
we go.
Perfect.
I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. All right. Very cool.
Nice.
That's a good signing, I think. And the next negotiation right off the bat, sponsor negotiation. This is for the stadium name contract.
Yes.
So that's a big contract. that might get important because 2030 is far away right now.
Usually I would say, yeah, I don't know if I want to do that because I really believe that our team can rise up the ranks. And if we do, this will probably very soon be a bad deal. But
exactly
right now, I like the money.
It's a big payday, yeah.
And we can't forget, our players might need psychotherapy after we've been managing them for a while.
True. Well, we get a promotion bonus, which we're not gonna get promoted this season. That's very unlikely.
Unlikely, yes.
Maybe we can reduce it by 2 years.
Yeah,
that's still 4 years.
Sounds good. Okay, maybe we can squeeze a little more money out of them if they're so easy going.
Let's try that. Really close now, 680.
Yeah, there's still room.
That's not bad. Maybe we can reduce. So as you see, maybe that's important. As you see, our negotiation points,
yes,
we just lose them over time.
Exactly.
And if we run out of them, we have to take the deal as it is. But as long as we still have some negotiation points left, we can try to make the deal a little better for us. I mean, we're not going to get relegated either. It's quite unlikely.
We should not get relegated. Since I don't think there's anything below.
There isn't a lower bar, yeah. So maybe we try to get one. No, actually, they won't like that. We tried, right? I think up here, term and payment wise, that's the best we can do.
Yeah, you can maybe slap on up to £700,000. I think that should work. Give it one more spin. There we go.
Hey, that's a good deal.
I think so too.
That's a good deal. We'll take it.
Yep. Maybe throw in some free psychotherapy sessions.
Maybe. Cool. And the next, we put our week full of negotiation this time. So here we can select from a few, companies that are interested.
This is for the
ad boards. This is much cheaper. Smaller companies will go for it. And here you'll see we have. Where does it say how many we have available? There we go. We can sell 7 ad boards still, and here you see how many ad boards they want, and what they would be willing to pay per board. So you can check, what you can get
deal would be for you.
Exactly. And I think, per board is the most interesting in this case.
Yes.
We have 7 boards to sell, so we could try to get here and there.
Things that we need. I'm always very eager to kind of make these little mind games where I'm imagining that, yes, I'm going to make a little deal so my players can look good. They like looking good.
Absolutely.
So free haircuts, and then we've got a deal.
I'm happy to do a 2-year ad board contract. Maybe we can squeeze out a little bit more money.
I'm sure we can. I am sure we can. They are very interesting.
Relegation, promotion, that's not important. This is all not very important. We'll see. We're really close now.
Do it again.
We'll try it again. Nope.
Okay, they are not budging.
They're not budging.
Go again. Do it one more time. We got one more.
Yeah, we'll try one more.
Okay, fine.
All right.
But I get a free haircut.
Yeah, it's still a good deal. It's still a good deal.
There's nothing wrong with it. And again, for everyone that does not like doing this type of stuff, you can also have assistants manage all of this.
Yeah. I think you can have almost everything. Be managed by assistants.
If you really, really want to, you can basically just watch the games.
Yeah.
Do the lineup, watch the game.
True.
Don't deal with any of this manager stuff.
Yeah. So this was one negotiation. Now we'll have to schedule another one for next week.
Exactly.
To maybe, get some more ad boards. So we still have 5 to sell. We'll see. We try to make the best of it. Yeah.
And directly a new record.
A new record transfer.
It's our first transfer.
It's the first. It had to be a record essentially, but yeah. And you can look at your records from the main menu through all of your games that you've played. The cup draw. I don't know if you need to watch the whole thing.
No, we do not.
We do not, because unless we get a super lucky draw against something like, I don't know, Salford or Derby or something, we're gonna lose anyway.
All of them look like they're way better than we are.
Most of yeah. Well, I think
maybe
we against the 4th division we might have a chance, but yeah, anything higher, there's absolutely no chance.
I mean, there's always a chance. But
yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it is slim. It is very slim. We don't need to watch the whole thing. We'll see who we drew and who we're gonna lose to probably.
Shirt
so that's
number
fine.
9, as if it was waiting for him.
It was right there waiting for us. Cool. That's our youth player, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we want him. We definitely want him on the squad. He's a young gun.
17 years old, young guy.
Yeah. 2-year contract for now is fine.
Super
I would say.
Maybe want to add in 1-year club extension.
Yeah,
I like that for young players.
That's a good idea. I mean, he's how old is he? 17.
17.
He doesn't need to make that much money. Come on.
You can live at home.
Well, we'll see what he says. Win bonus, match bonus. I'm fine with those. Yeah. Contract cancellation. Yeah, we'll see what he says.
Looks good.
Come on. Okay. Well, we're good with that. We're good with that.
You are such a fair manager.
I try to be. I try to be. Try to look out for my players. Cool. You'll get some sort of small news if people get hurt during practice, if they come late to practice, and all sorts of things like that. And obviously anything you set up for set up to be done during the week, you'll see all of that here.
And especially considering that this game has a lot of personal things, not only for us managers, but also for the players kind of simulated. So they have hobbies, they have interests, and if you have a player that loves skiing, for example, that could end badly. So maybe let's look at not getting any ski aficionados.
Yeah. We'll try not to. That's why they all play golf in real life, isn't it? Because they don't get hurt doing that.
I like that. Golf. Yeah. I like golf players.
Golf players.
Let's get them.
Yeah. Maybe puzzling, that kind of stuff.
That sounds good. Perfect hobby for my man.
Team spirit goes up by 4 points. They learn to drum together. That's cool. That's a cool team event.
Exactly. I think we had fun.
Yeah, I think so too. We're
not part of that.
We're not part of that, but essentially, if you're interested in any particular club, you can follow them here.
Yes.
So you can really choose from anywhere. Anything that's in the data sheet, you can choose, and their sort of results will show up on this screen. If you're looking maybe to transfer to a different club, or for whatever reason want to keep an eye on a certain club, you can do that here. Season tickets.
We do not sell more than 7,000.
I don't think so, no.
I mean, if we sell 7,000 this year, then we can raise it next year.
I think so too. Yeah.
I don't think we have that many hardcore supporters yet.
I don't think so.
Yet.
But hey, if they bought them, then the money is there. So that's good.
Signed them. Well, that was way more money than we could have spent.
That is like 3 divisions higher as well. So, essentially, big news within the football community. You will be able to follow here as well as they unfold during the week. And during the transfer windows, you'll see all the big transfers here as well.
And you can always sort through league, domestic, continental, just to basically boil it down to what's interesting for you.
Exactly. But in our case, I mean, all of these players are so far above anything that we might even be closely interested in. Or actually, they might.
Would we be interested?
We would, but they
not
won't be
in us.
interested in playing for HandyGames United at this point.
Yet.
Yet. Right. And these are our training results.
Made some progress.
You know, lots of details here on each player. You know, really depends on what you focused on, what they did, how they did.
Exactly.
Yeah, just a lot of information.
And that you can influence everything directly. It's, again, down to your personal preference. Right now, we're going to just try to keep this thing rolling so we didn't deep dive in too many of these little nitty-gritty details.
Exactly. We want to get a game underway.
Yes, it's about time.
It definitely is. Yeah, next week. We still have our match is still.
I mean, we could
a
set
few
a
ways out.
friendly in between, but we could.
We could, but we could also try the. I have an idea.
Okay.
We will try the simulation feature.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Because our match will be in 26 days. That is early August.
Yep.
So we could simulate everything. Oh, that's too far. We could simulate everything to the beginning of August. And essentially, the game will now just take care of everything.
Yep.
This, depending on your settings, might not be as effective as if you do everything yourself. So there is a little bit of risk to it.
Correct. Especially if you're like us, a small club.
Mm-hmm.
The assistants will try to add players if you allow them.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be that you simulate like half a season and then you're like, oh, I do not remember these guys on my squad.
Yeah, exactly.
But it does help if just to speed things up a little.
In our case, you know, this is a showcase. We're obviously not going to play the whole thing right now. So we just fast forward to our match week and see what we can do if we have a chance against, I think it was Sutton.
Yes, it was.
So yeah. We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
I have strong belief in Michael Towner.
I have hope. I have hope. But yeah, essentially, there you go. Training injury. This could have happened anyway. This has nothing to do with simulation feature. But you might miss out on chances to min-max everything. If that's what you want to do, you should probably take care of everything yourself.
Funny anecdote, yesterday as I was sitting here with the dev, we actually talked about the same subject of random practice injuries and how fans actually were unhappy about the amount of random practice accidents. So yes,
understandable.
It wasn't exactly. Nobody really likes that, to have their favorite player go out for a season without you having any influence. But it's realistic. It is part of the game, and it is something you can again modify if you do feel like that's necessary and you really don't want to see any of those injuries. But still, I like the realism here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see Evans has already improved by a point.
Which brings us to nice, interesting. This is quite unique for a manager game. You do have skill trees.
You have a skill tree for every single player, and you can, to a certain extent, choose freely what that player should focus on. In this case, we only have one option really, and that is shot power, which for a striker absolutely makes sense. So there's no real thought that needs to go behind this. However, as your players improve and have more and more skills, you have more and more options to focus on your particular needs. Like obviously in our case, we need someone who can score goals. Shot power is perfect. We'll just roll with it. But there's a ton of different skill sets that you can have that particular player focus on during training. Champions Cup, again, not really interesting for us in this case. Another training injury that kind of sucks right before the game.
Let's hope it was not a starter.
And another one. Wow. Okay.
Maybe we need to take a look at our training.
maybe. But yeah.
Let's see what we can do in Sutton.
Let's see what we can do.
76 kilometers travel.
They are definitely the stronger club, but we'll have a chance. We'll have a chance. All our players are relatively fit. And this is now our assistant coach essentially suggests a lineup for the game. But you can completely freely change it to whatever you think is best. I believe that in most cases, the assistant coach's lineup is pretty good.
Yes, you definitely look at putting the best players you have on the pitch in the formation where they can do the most.
Exactly.
I mean, this is more about a philosophy thing. If you would want to change it, you can still be very successful.
Yeah.
But at that point, it's like, well, it's up to you now.
It definitely is. And something that I believe, I can't say for sure, but I believe that the assistant coach, maybe also depends on the skill level of the assistant coach.
Absolutely.
But something they don't always take into account is your personal promises to other players.
Correct.
Like if you promised a player that was upset, for example, if you promised him, hey, if you're doing well in training, you'll play next week, and then the assistant coach doesn't put him up, they will be even more upset.
They will be.
Rightfully so.
Rightfully so. Maybe just to showcase one thing, you can push and pull the formations to kind of create somewhat of your own formation as you see it fit. Like, for example, if you, I personally like playing with two defensive midfielders where I pull one up a little and make him like more of a central midfielder. It helps if you don't have the proper players for every position, so you kind of can slightly adjust it so it fits them a little better.
Yeah, yeah. That is a good point, because as we can see, some of our positions are marked in red.
Yes.
So if you have, say, if you want to play a little bit more defensively, but Nathaniel Kelly is an attacking midfielder, you could put him back ever so slightly.
And as you can see, his rating changes.
His rating changes depending on his favorite position.
So he likes to be
he likes to be more offensive. You can drag him back without making too much of an impact, but as soon as you pull him into the central or even defensive midfield, his skill drops significantly.
He does not like playing.
He does not like that. But essentially, you have free reign over anything. Like, you could put everybody all the way up front if that's what you want. It's not ideal, probably, but that is something that you can absolutely do, and then you could save that as well.
I feel that I will have to run that as an experiment just to see what happens.
You could save this lineup. I don't know what you want to call it, but you can save any sort of lineup, and then keep it for next time. But in our case, I think this is probably the best we can do right now.
Probably not bad. There's like slight things that you could do, but I'm not sure it makes much difference. Like, you could pull Bandovic back a little. It probably improve his rating slightly without. Oh, it doesn't. Okay.
Nope.
Oh, he needs to go way back.
No, that's too far. That's too far.
All right.
And for just 0.1 of his skill
exactly,
point,
that does not.
That's
help
fine.
much.
That's fine. He might no. Well,
I guess
we'll run with it.
I guess our assistant does know what he's doing.
He does know what he's doing. But yeah, I'm not sure how much he, as I said, how much he keeps in mind the individual promises that
probably
you made.
Not as much.
Probably not as much. But again, this also may depend on their skill level and how involved they are.
I mean, you can. Like, if you really, 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 really want to go into this, you can basically have a rule-based lineup where you say, like, okay, you always have to play this player because I promised him he will always be playing, and then he'll put him in regardless if you have better players for that position or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
I'm hopeful. Destroy their game and then direct passes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a bit neutral. All-out attack is not a good idea. Do we want to be defensive? A little bit more defensive?
the thing is, it's a question of our philosophy. I think we are destroyers of worlds.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah. Yeah, we'll run with it.
They probably don't want to run super defensive, though.
No.
I mean, we want to see something happening.
Controlled offense.
That's good.
That sounds good. Better yellow card than a counterattack. Well, here you can essentially select how hard they should go in. I don't like yellow cards because you always risk losing a player. I mean, I don't have to tell you this, obviously, but and keep in mind that the players are still their own people. Like even if you tell them, hey, I don't want a yellow card, if you have like a fighter type,
he will get stuck in.
He will still collect the yellow cards.
Yes.
Like he doesn't care. Here you can select sort of your tactical
details. Of
exactly. How often do you want to play short corners versus corners in the box? Counters. You can just select how frequently they should try to run a counter. The basic setup, I believe, is just.
It's what the assistant basically just figured was a good setting for
exactly,
our
and how it worked in training. Yes. So we've done a lot of counter pressing.
We're good at that. So
we could even try to do that more frequently because that's our strongest skill right now. Yeah.
No,
and it's
a good start. I think
if you have a home match, you can select some questionable tactics as well. In this case, we can, but like you can do stuff like turn on the sprinklers if the opponents have a strong.
Technically good passing game. Yes, we will soak our pitch so they'll get stuck in mud.
Exactly, but that's in this case it's an away game anyway, so this is not an option for us. This is just an overview of the complete lineup. You have the team mood.
I mean, yes, let's be honest, I think they're favorites, but let's see what we can do.
They're the stronger team, but it's equal enough that we do have a chance. Yeah, I would say so. Okay, motivation. This is where it gets interesting again a little bit. You can attack weak spots, like you can single out their weakest player. In this case, we have a left wing player, which is not that interesting. I try to go for defensive players or even goalkeepers, but they're all pretty strong in their case. But these are just you can individually have your players target their strong players. You can rehearse specific attacks. Maybe something to just quickly look at. I don't think we need to do it right now at this point in the season.
That is definitely deeper stuff that if you're super into it, you can do so many little detailed things to individualize your tactics and kind of make your personal managerial ideas appear on the pitch, but that's going slightly too deep for us today. That is
going slightly too deep, but you can motivate individual players by saying, hey, today's your day, you'll score a goal for us, and that just gives them a little bit more motivation and increases the chance that they will actually score a goal.
Try to pump up their form, get the moral high.
Exactly. How invested should they be in the match? Is it an important match? You gotta do it, you gotta give it your everything. This is for the championship or whatever. You could also be, hey, nice and easy.
Don't get injured.
Don't get injured. Exactly. I mean, we'll just go somewhere along the middle in this case. And again, here you have motivational speeches that you can do. You can promise them a day off training. You can promise them some extra money if they win. All of that stuff. It ever so slightly improves their motivation, and you could squeeze out a little bit of an advantage.
Exactly. Well, for the season opener, I think we're good.
I think we're good. I mean, this is just whatever happens. This is just how it is. Here you can. Well, this is essentially the game going down. You'll see it mostly in the form of these statistics as it unfolds. But
And
if
as soon
anything,
as there's a chance we're gonna see the action on the pitch.
exactly. If anything interesting happens, you'll see. There you go. Counterattack by HandyGames. Perfect. That's what I like to see.
Get Michael Towner into this game now.
And,
go Samuel. You will do it. And there's Michael and over and.
Oh my God. Good shot though.
Good shot. I mean, first chance. 11 minutes down.
Will probably result in a corner immediately. But I guess the corner wasn't interesting. So otherwise, the game would have showed it to us. Yeah. And okay. That's fair. And personally, I think when I heard of the concept of these little animated sequences, I was like, yeah, sure, why not? You know, it's nice to have. But the more I play it, the more I think it's an amazing idea because I really get into it way more than I should.
It does.
Versus if I would just sit here and all of a sudden you'd see, oh, you scored a goal, 0-1, and be like, okay, that's, you know, kind of anticlimactic. But in this case, you know, I really get into it. I see my players going, okay, bring it in, bring it in.
Sitting there like, oh, where is he? Gonna
Fire.
And there it is. No! So close, so close. Missed
close.
by 1.3 meters.
You see it. And yeah, essentially, well, okay, it's halftime now, so.
It's like one of the little funny features that I like about this halftime is the halftime speeches, to be honest, because they are indeed voiced, which is going to be really interesting to hear. So it's like not super important, but it gives you this feeling of, you know, being immersed in the, and you can basically select the language in which it plays out. I mean, in this case, I guess we're going to go British
probably.
So
that
people
makes
can actually understand.
Even
though Bavarian is funny.
It is funny,
This game is right on a knife edge. I can see that out there, lads. Keep contesting and challenging for every second ball. You might not get to the first ball, but you bloody better get to the second.
You bloody better.
I am fired up.
I think they like that. What I was going to point out is the rating actually that every player has. So every action sort of improves or decreases their rating throughout the game. And they'll just, you know, collect experience and it influences everything. Their mood, their market value in long term, obviously. We'll just carry on, I think.
We will.
See what else is going to go down.
I mean, we hopefully will be able to score. Ooh, no.
Hopefully, this is...
Michael Towner.
Oh, no.
Not going to score. Good stuff here.
How did he miss that, though?
I have no idea, but I like it.
I do like it as well.
One thing we need to point out, though, the game will not be full 90 minutes simulated in this 3D view. You will only get the highlights, but I think in a view of having a quick and enjoyable game that gets you immersed, this is really nice.
And let's be honest, I mean, long term, it might be interesting once or twice, but long term, you don't want to watch 90 minutes of every game.
That's the point.
It's just not, it's not realistic. I mean, at this point, I'd be happy if we could just keep it 0-0, but...
Really?
Okay.
I mean,
I would like to score a goal, obviously, but...
Maybe push the tactics up a little.
We could do that, Let's take a break.
See if we need to sub someone.
Exactly. Maybe make a substitution, see how our players are doing, and most of all, who do we have? We could bring out our youth player, Westcott. He's fresh.
He's fresh. He's a left. We can put him on the left wing.
Yeah.
It's not his best position, but...
Yeah, he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
He's fresh.
He's fresh.
And he's hungry.
He's hungry, and that's being fit and fresh is worth more than you might think.
I think so. Yes.
Because like a lower rated fresh player could obviously outrun a tired, higher rated player.
Exactly.
I mean, that just makes sense. It's just
The good thing was you were very wise to keep the pressure low, so most of our guys are still in a decent shape right now.
This is all fine. They're, you know, obviously it's minute 80. They are tired, but you know, so are the others. That's fine. We want to be a bit more offensive, I think, in this case.
So too.
Direct offensive football for 80 minutes. I mean, this could backfire, obviously.
It could, but we did a good job so far, in my opinion.
We're not here for mediocrity.
And I want to see a goal.
I do really want to see a goal. Even if we don't get to see a goal, we can watch some other goal from the rest of it. We will watch a goal today. Maybe not ours, but yeah, that's a good tackle.
Very hardly. Good man. Good man.
It's not looking. It's not looking good. No. I mean, it's a point. A point is a point
in an away game. So
yeah, you can't be too mad about it.
It was okay.
Obviously, would have been nice to see a goal. We could select the match conference because other games are still going.
Exactly. We may want to look at least some goals.
We might still see a goal in the last few minutes in some other match, but also maybe not, which is fair.
I mean, we can look at like the Morecambe Walsall game 5-1. That's where we bought Michael Towner from. Obviously, they did not need him at all.
They did no. They were happier to let him go than we would have thought. So yeah, we can watch one of their goals, I guess, and see how they did. Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's solid. There's nothing to hate about that. Okay, now we'll get sort of our post-match press coverage. It's a jaw. It's nothing crazy. Decent performance. I wouldn't say great performance because you know we didn't win, but
we also didn't lose.
We didn't lose. We're happy. We're happy. The fans seem to be happy.
Yeah.
So that's fine. And here we can see, obviously this is not super interesting right now because it's the beginning of the season, but we see the top scorers. We see how involved each player was in a goal. We are not on this list yet because we didn't score. But we can watch the goal of the day. So these are sometimes pretty interesting. I've seen some crazy goals that way. Later down the road, oh my God, that is a good goal. Strong.
From a right wing back, that was special.
Yeah. Very cool. Some league stats essentially is what you get here. Team of the week. Sorry, I think we're not. Yeah, we are not represented, which is fine. You know, we're taking it easy.
We were kind of mid in the first game. I guess that's how
we shouldn't forget our sole goal this season is like rank 20.
Yeah, 21st.
21 even. So, you know, we're fine.
I think so.
We're fine if we won't win every game. Essentially, that's not going to happen. And yeah, that is essentially how this goes.
Yep.
The week is over. We played our game. You know, still in the transfer window. Some information on the transfers.
Garner.
He lost some of his skill. We can adjust the training objective to focus on what we want him to do. You know, tackles maybe, and then.
Exactly. Yeah. You can basically set multiple goals that will be progressively worked through.
Exactly, and give them like priority.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
And this should be This is the end of the week, start of the next week, and this is essentially what happens in We Are Football 2024. Obviously, you know, bigger clubs, they will play in cup games as well. You can get, nominated to train a national team.
Yes.
your manager that you created, in our case Henry James, he will level up individually.
Will gain new skills, be interesting for other jobs.
Exactly, that will also carry over to his profile. So even if you start a new game, like if you play a season or two with your small club, and then if you start a new game, you will be able to start at a higher level immediately. But you could of course just go on and play. The whole career essentially.
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
can play for years to come.
The great thing about this game is that it's basically your sandbox.
Exactly.
You can do whatever your personal interest is. If you want to start out playing for a big city club in the Champions League or the highest club level, no problem. Go for it.
Yeah.
Or if you want to like we build up your little own fantasy team with all of your friends. Yeah. That's also a possibility.
Exactly.
Takes a little longer, but maybe also a very rewarding experience.
I think it is a rewarding experience. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it quite a bit. The first playthrough I started was just career. I started a career, and I got an offer from 3 different clubs. So I had to choose one of them. I didn't know any of them before I started, but as soon as I got into it, I am now very invested in that club, and I want them to do well.
It happens fast.
It does. It does. It's really interesting, and I've been enjoying it a lot. And as you said, many more small details to take care of. I mean, we've only really scratched the surface.
I'm sure we're going to be revisiting this a few times more in the coming weeks and months.
For sure. I will be.
So will I.
I will be. Maybe one more feature that I found pretty interesting, if that's something you're interested in out there. We have an autosave. That's good enough. We have the editor. Not the editor. We can simulate matches. That is something that I found pretty interesting. So we can select, a matchup that we
set up your interesting match of the week in real life.
Exactly.
And kind of simulate it.
This is fine. Just for demonstration purposes, we can now, we have the whole teams, their stats, their ratings, and we can simulate up to 5,000, I think, matches.
A lot of them.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. I'm not sure the exact number, but let's do like 100 for now, and you just wait, and the game simulates 100 matches and tells you the probability
average
of who will win how many times. What's the prediction? Obviously you want to be careful with that. Don't hedge your sports bets on the outcome of this.
Please do not. Yes.
Please don't. We take no responsibility. However, I think it's a funny feature. It's an interesting feature. If you want to play around with lineups and stuff like that, you can obviously use your club as well.
Yep.
See, hey, my next matchup against this and that opponent, how likely is it that I'm going to win? Could I min-max anything else about my positioning? Yada yada. There's so much to do, and the more games you simulate,
the closer the likelihood to hitting
the
most likely outcome.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just an interesting, funny little feature that I thought was nice to show you, and I think with that,
we can close it out and open the doors for you guys, hopefully soon, to try out We Are Football 2024
Absolutely.
For yourself.
And show us what you're doing out there. It's going to be interesting because there's a big community around sports management games, and there's so many people out there, I'm sure, that already know so much more about these kinds of games that I ever will.
Absolutely.
This was going to be super
very, very top level first look at everything.
And it's going to be super interesting to see what the people out there are doing with We Are Football 2024.
Can't wait.
And with that being said, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
Take it easy.
Bye.